Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Double honors to the elder. Shalom to the Aki. I'm pushing the truth in the four corners and truth sincerity. Shalom to the Akwaf out there listening, being true to Zion. Shalom. So again, I have this video on Instagram that they would not let me download. This brother going into the underground nuclear bunkers that these so-called elite, aka Luciferians, have been building, right? And he going into Revelation 6. So I'm gonna play this. All right, Salak, hold up.
Revelation chapter 6, verse 13 to 15. Verse 15 says that people went to go hide themselves in den and in rocks of a mountain. Not just any old people. And the kings of the earth, the great men, the rich men, chief captains, mighty men, and every bondsman and freeman hid themselves in the dens and the rocks of a mountain. Now maybe it's just a coincidence that most nuclear bunkers are carved into the side of a mountain. And just maybe, it's all a coincidence that every last person that I've shown, we know to have their own nuclear bunkers. Now, even more proof that these things are nuclear bunkers are the two verses before it. Verse 13 talks about the stars falling. But again, this is a vision John is seeing. John lives in ancient times. He's never seen a plane, helicopter, or missile. This is a falling star. Actually, it's not. It's actually a missile. But it sure looks like a falling star. Now in the very next verse, we see that the sky gets rolled up like a scroll. Rolled up like a scroll, that's something that happens right after a nuclear bomb drops. So for a quick recap, John sees stars fall. He then sees the sky rolled up like a scroll. He then sees all the kings of the earth, all the great men, all the chief captains, all the mighty men, and even the rich and free people run into the dens and the rocks of a mountain. Yeah, John saw them running into nuclear bunkers. But what do you think?
Right. The brother's broken down beautifully, man. Right. These devils gonna try to run to their underground bunkers once the world war pop off. You see, they starting all this war with Iran, like we know through Bible prophecy, Russia, and all these different countries is gonna get involved and be a guard. Like Russia is gonna be a guard unto Iran, right? And sooner than later, these missiles, they're gonna get to popping these missiles, right? And these devils, so-called elite, these Luciferians is gonna run in their bunkers, like the brother wrote down in Revelation 6, right? But let me get this in the book of Malachi, chapter 4, verse 1. Because there's a reason why they're going to run in the bunkers. It says, "For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day cometh that shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave neither root nor branch." Right, so they're going to try to go into these bunkers thinking that they're going to get away from the Most High, get away from the judgment, right? But really, they're just putting themselves in even more prophecy, right? Because once they get out, once the bombing is over, and they come out them bunkers, the Lord and His angels and His men gonna grab them up, right, and throw them in slavery. That's the destination for these Edomites, right? Especially these so-called elites, these old decrepit devils and their families too. Not just the old decrepit ones, but their families too, right? The younger ones, right? The devils, they're probably police and military guys too. You're gonna get grabbed up by the Lord and His servants and thrown in captivity, right? So let's get it out the Bible. First, let's get this in Amos. Amos 9. I'm gonna get in GNT first. Amos 9:2. It says, even if they dig their way down to the world of the dead, I will catch them. Even if they climb up to heaven, I will bring them down. Right? That's talking about them going into their bunkers once again. Right? It says, even if they dig down to where the dead is, the Lord gonna get them. So like Lauren Hill said on the song, "Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide." Right? There's nowhere these devils can hide. And this is on Amos 9:2 in the NLT. It says, even if they dig down to the place of the dead, I will reach down and pull them up. Even if they climb into the heavens, I will bring them down. So there's nowhere these people can run to escape the judgment of the Lord, man. The Most High has a judgment for these devils, and they're going to serve it whether they want to or not. All right? Let's see what else I got. Now, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 2. Let's get down to verse 17. Sorry. It said, and the loftiness of man shall be brought down, shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of men shall be made low, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day, and the idols he shall utterly abolish, and they shall go into the holes of the rocks, and into the caves of the earth for the fear of the Lord, and for the glory of his majesty, when he ariseth to shake up terribly the earth. In that day a man shall cast his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which they have made, each one for himself to worship, to the moles and to the bats, to go into the clefts of the rocks, and to the top of the ragged rocks, for the fear of the Lord, and for the glory of his majesty, when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth. Right? So they think they're gonna go out into them bunkers to get away from the judgment. Right? But they not. Right? There's nowhere that you devils can run, man. Because your judgment already written. Right? I got that. Salat. All right, this is Psalms 149 and verse 5. Start at 5. It says, let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of God be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. But this is the part I wanted right here. It says, to bind their kings in with chains, and their nobles with fetters of iron. So these so-called elites are considered the kings of this society and the nobles of this society. And this is what the Lord said. He said, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written, this honor hath all his saints, praise ye the Lord. So these devils going into slavery. No matter how old they is, no matter how decrepit they is, they gonna be out in that field, getting burnt up. Right? And I pray these devils are super old when it happens, so that their skin is more frail. Right? So they get burned up by the sun and they get whipped. And that whip leave some crazy lashes on them. Right? Burn up their skin with the whip. Right? You're not going to escape your judgment. You can run, but you can't hide. You can constantly keep lying and pushing out lies. You know, you're going into the so-called UFOs and you saying they demons and all this, knowing that they angels, right? Knowing that they're chariots of the Lord. Could keep saying making this technology like you God and all this, but you can't run from your judgment. You can try to hide it and come up with all these different lies to deviate from the truth. It's a lot. But you can't hide, right? No matter what you do, you've been exposed already. Right? Let's get that in let's get that in Second Thessalonians. Let's get that in Second Thessalonians. This is Second Thessalonians 2:7. It says, "For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. Then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming." So you wicked, you so-called Caucasians, you Edomites, have been revealed. Even your own woman is revealing who you is now. Your own woman is turning on you, talking about the devils y'all is, right? And they not even gonna miss you once you gone, right? Your kids not gonna miss you when you gone, right? They gonna hate you. They gonna hate you for being evil, right? Your kids already turning against you. Your kids is all listening to rap music. They listen to this degenerate rap music, this demonic music that you pushed out there to destroy our kids, but it's destroying your kids also, right? Everything you devils do and have done is turning against you, right? And you being revealed, right, by your own people. Right? It says, "And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth." See, it's burning you up that the Israelites, the true men, not ISUPK, not IUIC, not all these different other camps that's bought out, that 501c3, right, been bought out. Not all of them, right? I'm talking about the elders of GMS and those that teach the likewise doctrine, right? You're being consumed. Your spirit is being consumed by the mouth of the Lord, right? Because the Most High is using brothers to speak his words in truth, sincerity, and break it down the right way, the correct way, right? And you're being consumed by it. And you can't hide, right? You're trying to come up with lies and push all these lies out there, but it's not working. People starting to see through your lies, right? People starting to question everything you do now. It ain't just easy to just say something and have everybody just believe you no more, right? Because you've been revealed that you the devil, right? And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan. And that's the point too. Your coming is after the working of Satan. It's been revealed that you devils is a bunch of Satanists, right? You eat people, right? They came out with the book. The book is being made known now, The Delectable Negro, where you actually ate our people during slavery, right? You're eating people now, right? You're sacrificing babies to Molech, right? You're doing all types of satanistic practices. Your police is coming out that they Masons. And once you get to the 33rd degree, you find out that you've been worshiping Satan the whole time, right? With all your secrecy and all your lies, all your fraternities is coming out. People exposing fraternities now for them being demonic, and you having to do all these different hazing things, the demonic hazing rituals, right? It's coming out, right? Your working is after the working of Satan, right? And that's why you devils blackball us, because we speak like this. We speak the truth. We expose you. That's why they did all this blackballing, right? Blackball brothers, right? Blackball me from the electrical industry. Blackball different brothers from different jobs, right? Because we've been exposing you. That's why. And you don't want to be exposed. You don't want to be revealed. You like the roach, right? As soon as we turn on the light, you get the scattering everywhere, right? You devils is like a bunch of roaches. You hate the light, right? You love to dwell in darkness. You love to be hidden, and people not know what you doing, right? But you got brothers like us and the brothers GMS exposing you, right? You don't want to be seen. You don't want it. You don't want it to happen. So you try to make our life a living hell. You try to block us from certain things, but we don't care. We serve Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. This is a part of the trial, right? This is part of our test to show our faith. So you just proving our faith to the Lord, right? That's all you is, right? It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, right? So this devil has lying wonders. Like he's about to come up with this lying wonder with this brain chip, right? This brain chip to talking about he can make people, he can allow people to walk again. People who couldn't walk, doing Jesus like miracles, right? That's what he said out of his own mouth, right? His lying wonders, right? And with all deceivableness and unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send no strong delusion, that they shall believe a lie, right? And that's our people. Our people believe a lie, right? Our people believe the lies that these people push and propagate, right? They don't believe the spirit of the Lord's mouth that's coming out and condemning these devils and exposing these devils. They want to believe the devil, right? So the Lord sent them strong delusion, right? They believe not the truth, because the truth would make them free, right? But they bind it to these Edomites. They have Stockholm syndrome, so they bind it to these Edomites, right? So you're going to get the same judgment as them, right? So let's get back to that's a lot. Not yet. All right, let's get to Isaiah 14. Isaiah 14:1 says, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the stranger shall be joined unto them, joined with them, Salaki, and shall cleave unto the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them and bring them into their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, Salaki, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So that's part of the blessing, us ruling over our oppressors, having them as possessions, servants and handmaids, right? Like I read the other day, he have seen service upon horses and princes walking in service upon the earth. So it's going to be reversed back to its rightful place, where the princes are on horses and the servants are walking upon the ground, right? Walking upon the earth, right? In their rightful position as servants, right? That's the blessing that the Lord is going to give his people. That's a part of the blessing. It's not the only thing that's a blessing. It's part of the blessing, right? Us taking them captives who captives we were. Right? Verse 3, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. Right? Most High gonna give us rest from our sorrow. We're not gonna mourn for our families no more that died in sin. Right? We're not gonna mourn over heartbreak We're not gonna find out your girl was cheating on you, right? Because adultery won't be happening in the kingdom, right? The laws are gonna be in our inward part, so none of our people are gonna be able to sin no more, right? You're not gonna covet your neighbor's possessions. You're not gonna steal from each other, right? We actually gonna have a culture of giving gifts to each other just randomly, right? You come to my house, you're gonna get a gift, right? You and your wife, your kids come to my house, y'all gonna get gifts, just off the muscle, right? That's part of our culture is giving gifts, right? Not no holidays, not no Valentine's Day, no wickedness and Christmas and all this wickedness. No, just regular. Purim actually you give gifts, right? I believe so. Purim, yeah, you give gifts, right? But that's gonna be a normal thing because we're gonna have the abundance. Most High gonna bless us with the abundance, so it ain't like we're gonna be like at a lack, have a lack. You feel me? And don't really have nothing to give. We're gonna have plenty to give, right? But the Lord said He's gonna give us rest from our sorrow and from thy fear and from thy hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. Right? We no longer gonna fear. No one. We're not gonna fear anybody. Right? Only one we're gonna fear is Yahweh. Right? We're not gonna fear our own people. We're not gonna have to walk outside and wonder if our own people gonna shoot us down. Right? Our sisters gonna be able to walk around, not worry about getting grabbed up and raped or kidnapped. Right? We're not gonna worry about none of this. All of these things we have to worry about in this society because what? I read the curse in Deuteronomy. We'll have no rest for our feet. Right? So we constantly, worry about these different things in this society. All right. So we're not gonna have to worry about it. We're not gonna have to worry about our kids getting taken away from us, like in captivity, like in slavery. You see the movie 12 Years a Slave, where the lady, it was a child was taken away and sold to another plantation. You're not gonna have to worry about that. Not gonna have to worry about your kids going outside and coming up missing. You know, not gonna have to worry about that. Now this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, and verse 10. It says, "The sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee." All right, so it said the sons of strangers, these other people, these other nations of people, is going to build up our walls in the kingdom. They're going to build. We're going to get the free labor that they got off of us. That's retribution, man. Right? And our people don't see it now because society's so bad, and they see these Edomites just seem like they just doing whatever they want to do. So it's hard for them to see it. It's hard for them to believe it. Right? But that's because Most High didn't bless you with the faith. Right? Or you the type of person that gotta see the Lord's power to believe it. You may be a doubting Thomas. Right? And you gotta see the Lord show his miracles, show his power for you to believe it. Right? But like it says, blesses those who believe and see not. Right? We ain't gotta see it to believe it. We just believe it. Right? And the Lord, he's shown us over the years that he is real. So why not believe it? If he showed us he was real all these years, he been blessing us and taking care of us all these years. How many times throughout the years you didn't know how you was going to get this money for a certain thing, then this money just pop up out of nowhere? All the times that the Lord did that for you, thank you, Lord, thank you, Lord, thank you, Jesus. Thank you. All them times, now all of a sudden you don't believe now. Because you're a fraud. You know, you don't really believe. It's like, this is Isaiah 60:10. It said, the sons of the stranger shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor I had mercy on thee. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be bought. Right? Or also it said their kings shall minister unto thee, meaning serve us. They're gonna serve us, right? The kings of these so-called Rockefellers, these Rothschilds, these uh I forgot. They so insignificant. I forgot all their names and shit. Salakia. But yeah, they gonna minister unto our people, right? The ones in the Rothschilds and all of the 12 families, they gonna be in my field. They ain't going to my house. They gonna be in my field, burning up with no sunscreen, right? Every day, right? But it said, therefore our gates shall be open continually. And you know, like back in the day when you was younger, you could leave your door unlocked in the neighborhood. It wouldn't nobody run up in your house and steal nothing. We were so comfortable leaving our doors unlocked because we trusted each other, right? It's going to be like that. Our gates going to be open continually because ain't nobody going to ever come try to take us over or besiege Jerusalem again. Because what? There's going to be an everlasting kingdom, right? Out. Ain't nobody gonna test that, right? It's just gonna be pure. Everything is gonna be in its rightful order, right? Ain't gonna be no complaints. It's gonna be no complaints, man. All the complaints you hear today that our people have, and ain't gonna be no complaints, right? Because everything gonna be harmonious. That's what I meant to say. It's gonna be harmonious. Verse 12, the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish, yet those nations shall be utterly wasted, right? That's why we're going to have so much peace, right? Because whoever go against it, the Lord he's going to destroy them. So we don't have to worry about them, right? We're going to live in bliss. We're going to live in peace, right? Like I say in the book of Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. So even the heathen being in slavery, they still gonna rejoice after those 1,000 years. All right. Verse 14, the sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet. And they shall call thee the city of the Lord, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. Right? Most High gonna make these nations bow down to our feet. Right? That's how they gonna have to greet us. They gonna have to greet us with their heads bowed down to our feet. Right? But you know, in this time, our people can't see that because we so disrespected, and we such a reproach in this society. People don't see it. Right? You see it because they definitely jealous. You see it's a jealousy there, right? In our lower state, like how can you be jealous of people when they at the bottom? How can you be jealous of a group of men that have no power and they at the bottom, but you're jealous and envious of them because they know the spirit that the Lord has on us and the promises that the Lord has for our people. So they jealous. These heathens is jealous, right? But our people can't see, you know, us being bowed down to, right? Even a lot of our women, you know, that turn and start being envious of us too, right? They turn to start being envious of the power that the Lord gave us, right? And a lot of them so simple. They just worry about the power that men have to have sex with multiple women. That's the power they worry about. What you doing with your body, right? They want control over your body, right? Which they don't have, and they don't want to give you control over their body. Oh, it's my body, my choice, my body, my choice. But your body is my body, right? The total opposite, totally demonic. It's against what the Lord said, right? But yeah, even a lot of our women turned and became envious of us, right? Why are they envious of us when we have no economic power like that? We at the bottom, right? It's more than just that. That's because money don't mean everything. Money don't mean everything, right? And actually, this fiat currency, these paper dollars, don't mean nothing. It ain't really backed by nothing. It's not backed by gold or silver or nothing. So really, this money is nothing. It's just nothing but a piece of paper. They know who the real kings is, and they spirit, whether they want to admit it or not. They know who the real kings is, how we carry ourselves, right? The type of problem solving skills that we have, that people steal and copy off of us. Everybody copy off of us, low key. Steal the way they watch us to see how we think and how we problem solve and how we do this and do that, and they steal it. Right? And they jealous because they didn't come up, they don't naturally have it. Right? They don't naturally have the things that we have, that we gifted, that we blessed with. So they envious that they can't do it without us. Right? So that it breeds a lot of envy. You know? But oh, slot. Well, I ain't even clicked this. Slot. Slot. Read that again. It says, the son, Isaiah 16:14 said, the sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of the Lord, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. Right? They shall bow down at our feet, man. Right? Because they know who the real kings is. Like I said, they just jealous and envious that we got next. Right? What else? We got? About that. No, I kind of went off topic, but hey, the spirit take you where it wants you to go. So back to the original topic, but this is 2 Peter 3 and verse 10. It says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. So that goes into the thermonuclear missiles, right? Thermonuclear missile is going to be shot over here from Russia, right? And all its allies to destroy America, help destroy America. But it's also going to be Yahushua that destroys America also. But in the midst of all that, while these heathen and these nations are fighting, that's when the Messiah is going to come. And once the Messiah comes with his holy host, that's when all of these nations going to band together and try to fight against the Lord. Right? It talks about that in 2 Ezra 13. Right? All of these nations going to band together and try to fight against the Lord. That's why we not on Russia's side. We're not on Iran's side. We're not on Israel side. We're not on Palestine side. We're not on America's side. We on the side of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. We on the side of the Lord, right? We just telling you through prophecy that Russia is going to be one of the ones that help destroy America, right? And Iran is going to start through Iran, right? We're not saying that we with Russia, because Russia, them devils is racist too. Them devils still Edomites, right? We not with them. We with the Lord. And they're going to try to turn and fight against the Lord when he comes back. So, this is, read this again. 2 Peter 2 and 3 and 10 again. It said, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth and also in the works thereof shall be burnt up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of God, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Right? You're supposed to be in righteousness and godly talks in these last days, man. Right? Talking about the word, talking about the scriptures. And this is the last scripture I got right here. This book of Zechariah, chapter 14 and verse 12. It says, and this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away in their eyes. So like their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. So it's gonna be on thermonuclear missiles is like the movie Judgment Day, Terminator Judgment Day. But Sarah Connor was on the gate. She got burned up. Right? And her tongue got melted in her mouth, and her eyes got melted away in her sockets. Right? A lot of people think, I can deal with that. Like I ain't worried about Judgment Day. Can you imagine your eyes melting in the sockets? Or your tongue melting in his mouth? In your mouth? Can't imagine that. Can't even put your hand in the oven to get burned and take it. Or have your hand in the oven for 10 to 15 seconds. Or over fire for 10 to 15 seconds. Imagine shit melting away. Like, yeah. So with that, we'll give all praise on. No, so like, so in conclusion, you devils is going in slavery. Whether you try to hide, run into your little bunkers, or not, the Lord gonna get you. Like the Freddie song, 1, 2, Yahweh's coming for you. Yeah, the Lord gonna get you, man. Ain't no running. So with that, all praise to Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders. Shalom to the Akim, pushing the truth in the four corners and truth sincerity. Shalom to the Akwab, being true door of Zion. Shalom.